What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another deck that honestly, I found this list, gosh, it had to be like a month and a half ago at this point. I never, actually probably a month ago, because I think it was like the first week I started my channel, and for some reason I never played it yet. I don't know why, because it's so much fun, and it's Scovillain EX. With the Chili Snapper Bind attack, it's nothing insane, but it could get you out of like a tricky spot if you need to stall. You burn your opponent's active Pokemon, and then during the next turn they can't retreat. So I mean, it's not bad. Really, what this card is used for is the two-headed crushing, which is absolutely so much fun to use. You discard a random card from your opponent's hand and the top card of your opponent's deck. So when you're constantly spamming hand disruption like Judge, Iono, and then Unfair Stamp, which is an item card right here. So, you know, when you're knocked out, it's our A-spec for the deck. When you're knocked out, you shuffle your opponent's hand, put them to 2 cards, you take 5. You know, when you use the attack right after that, you put them to 1 card. So essentially what the build, the reason why I like this deck so much is because it's a very, very similar build to Toedscruel EX, which is one of my favorite decks to play right now. We're relying on Ogerpon for the heavy energy setup. We're playing 4 copies of Energy Switch. That's pretty much our draw engine and our backup attacker. And then we could use Energy Switch to easily set up Scovillain EX. And then we could use Heavy Hand Disruption. We've got Hammers. We've got, you know, to get rid of energy. We got Grabber to get rid of Pokemon. I mean, just a whole bunch of cards to just try to ruin our opponent's day. So, the reason why I think this deck isn't necessarily as good as Toedscruel is because it doesn't have the damage output. Like, I think between the 2 grass decks, this one has a lot more disruption. I think this one is more fun in that regard because there's just an insane amount of disruption. But in terms of, like, just the pace and keeping up with other decks, if you're not discarding critical cards for your opponent's setup and, like, you know, fluidity throughout the game, it could be a little difficult since we're only swinging for 140, which isn't super great. I mean, that's like 3-shotting Dragapults, you know, it's like scenarios like that. Even like a Raging Bolt with, you know, a tool attached. Like, let's say we can't get our Jamming Tower. If we swing into a Raging Bolt, they either have 290 or 300 HP if they have Ancient Booster Energy or a Bravery Charm attached. So, you know, like, the damage output isn't 100% there, but it's just such a fun deck to play. And if you want, like, something insane to bring to your locals, I mean, this deck is it. So, real quick, I'll just gloss over. I mean, we talked about, like, the setup, the engine. If you go second, you could use Cleffa, which I think is perfect, builds a big hand. But, in terms of all the disruption cards, we're playing 4 copies of Hammer. So, against Dragapult, Charizard, decks that play much, much lower counts of energy, Crushing Hammer could be huge, especially 1 copy of Enhanced Hammer to get rid of a special energy. So that could be Legacy Energy against like Iron Thorns, that could be Neo Upper Energy against Dragapult. There's some big special energies that, you know, getting rid of could be really big. Maybe a Lugia deck if you need to get rid of 1, just to make sure you're getting more energy in discard than they can in play. Not bad. Couple copies of Grabber. So if you are playing against like Chiempo and you use Grabber, you know, you can put like Baxcalibur that's sitting in their hand right on the bottom of their deck. So it's kind of nice just to take it out of their hand. And then we have, as I mentioned, an insane amount of hand disruption, which is really going to be like where this deck kind of vibes. Like, we need to just destroy our opponent's hand and hope we could run with it from there. So overall, this deck, again, very simple, but it's a blast to play. It's a bit different, honestly. If this card did like a bit more damage, or you put it, maybe you could take out like Jamming Towers, put a tool in here too, you know, do some more damage, I guess that would be a different way to build it. You know, just to 2-shot things more comfortably, maybe it could be a bit better, it'd be a little more offensive. But with Jamming Tower, which is another disruptive card that shuts off tools, I just tried to find and tweak and make like the most consistent list possible. And a few people, I'm pretty sure, like on Limitless, have played this exact list, because this is just, I mean, God, I don't remember exactly when or where I saw it, but it was definitely like on Limitless. I just forgot from who. Like, I have like a little folder where I have all the deck lists I just copy and paste in all the time, and I forgot to write down who took this deck in a tournament and like what place they got and everything. But I was like, this is awesome. I played a few games with it then too, and I loved it. I mean, Scovillain is such a fun card. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the list. I mean, let's jump into these 3 games, see if we can get a positive record with Scovillain EX. Welcome to match number 1. Our opponent took a mulligan, and it looks like they're playing a future box hand. We'll see, depending on what they flip over here. And we are going first, which is preferred, I think. And yeah, it's future box. Okay, so this matchup could be a bit of fun, especially because we played Jamming Tower. That could really shut our opponent down. And we've got, honestly, a banger of a hand. This Capsakid is going to get cooked. I mean, there's no shot that thing is living. But honestly, I don't think that bothers me, because we could pretty much do the rest of this game with couple Capsakid, yeah, or a couple Scovillins, couple, maybe an Ogerpon or 2 to close out. Could do big damage, Myriad Leaf Shower, because they'll get a lot of energy onto what do you call it? an Iron Hands. So we'll draw a couple extra cards here, see what we can get. Honestly, I love the Iono, because then next turn we could just Iono no matter what, and with Energy Switch, we're so close to having all the pieces. Oh, never mind. Alright, so we have all the energy ready for next turn if they KO this guy. So if they KO our active, next turn we pop Energy Switch, put 2 energy on this Capsakid, we Iono, we hopefully get Scovillain, and then with Scovillain we are just ready to start swinging. So we will get going on some disruption. The one thing that hurts a little bit with Iono at the start is they might have a smaller hand, so we might be giving them cards, especially because they're going to Arven as well. But again, like I've said this before in other videos, I just think, especially in the early game, with a lot of rogue decks, especially hand disruption ones, you never not want to Iono and, like, ruin your own setup. Like, you always want to do what you can to set up your own board. Like, yeah, they're going to have 4 cards in hand, and because they're going to take a prize card, right? I'm going to Iono them to 5, so I am giving them a card, and then at the start of their turn, they'll have 6. But I really need to guarantee the attack more than anything, so I think I'm alright with that. Like, I don't think that will hinder me any. I think as long as I can set up, I'll do what I can, and that will be plenty. So let's use Teal Dance. Let's just draw an extra card before Iono. And then Crushing Hammer. Kind of love it, honestly. We could take the KO on the Miraidon, but if I can get rid of, like, an energy on hands, I can't. Okay, fake card, fake card. We don't like that hammer. It wasn't a good hammer anyway, so let's just pop the Energy Switch. Let's put it on this guy, so homie is all ready to rumble, and let's rip the Iono. So we should be alright. We got Bug Catching Set too, which could help dig out a lot of Scovillains if needed, and it really seems like that's what we're going to need right now. Oh boy. Oh, this is not good. Alright, so what are we doing here? Can we draw a Scovillain off the top deck, please? Okay. It's going to be one of these types of games. Oh man. Alright, let's grab her. Do they have, like, energy in their hand? They don't. Alright, you know what? If I can flip heads on these hammers, we could maybe fight our way out of this. That's one. So I'm going to take it out of the active and somehow hope that'll buy me another turn, because this is really not what I wanted to see. You know what? Honestly, I think we can make a comeback against this deck if needed, and oh my gosh. Alright, so these hammers are now live, and I am loving that. Yeah, so we can't really do anything. I don't have any fire energy. We got 3 Scovillains. That's really what I wanted to double check. Do we have our bug catching sets? We do. Okay, so we've got pretty good ways to draw into more Pokemon. So if we lose this Capsakid in the active, it might hurt a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but I think overall we'll be in an okay spot. Of course they're going to hit Generator, they're going to get 2 energy, so if they, yep, alright, they're going to be taking their 3rd prize this turn because they got Arven in hand. We saw it with Grabber, so we know they're getting a big retreat off, free retreat, and we did not get Jamming Tower down, so that'll be pretty easy, and they could just use Ampy very much on our active and take a huge KO. I love that they got rid of Penny, though, because we're not one-shotting like anything. So we're in a difficult spot. We're going to be down 3 prizes going into next turn. But as long as this judge can bless up, like, a little bit, we can make a comeback. 100% make a comeback. Unless they prized all their future booster energy capsules. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be, like, pretty awesome. But I think the reason we can make a comeback, if we get Jamming Tower down and their Heavy Baton doesn't work, we will be chilling. Oh, are they going to Prime Catcher now? They did not take... Oh, they had the future booster. Wow, they have no cards in hand. You gotta be kidding me. Well, I hate to judge them into a perfect hand, but I really don't have another choice. They're not going to use the Prime Catcher that's in their hand. Actually, you know what? Their hand is kind of goated. Because they got Prime Catcher. That's really all they need to have an insane turn again. They could just boss up whatever they want. So, I really got to take a swing this turn, at the very least. So what's the play? Alright. Like, a turn too late. Like, man, that is... we're so close to greatness, but we're not totally out of the woods yet. We'll make it work, though. I'm confident in Scovillain. And you know what? Hey, that guarantees the attack. I'll take it. I'm not going to draw cards as much as I want. I don't want to play Jamming Tower either. I want to play Jamming Tower when I take the KO, and not right now. Because if I play Jamming Tower right now, I'm not swinging for KO. They could play anything to get rid of it, and then it's like, it's pointless again. So I'm just going to swing with Two-Headed Crushing, hopefully discarding an amazing card from their hand. Research is phenomenal. And Rod, oh, I love those. I love those cards seeing the discard pile. Alright, not bad. Not bad at all. I don't know how much they swing for in total. They got 2, 4, 6 on top of 160 max. So, yeah, they're still whiffing the KO at 220. Next turn, however, they could take a KO with Amp You very much. But actually, you know what? This is perfect. This is perfect here. Love this. So we're going to put Mew down just because I need to draw some other cards, like an energy, something like that. Bug Catching Set, energy, perfect. Loving that. Let's use Bug Catching Set first. I want to see if we can get another energy. Easy. 2 energy. All right, because I want a manual attached to Scovillain, and then I want to use 2 Teal dances. And we got to be very careful about how we finish out this game, because if they take a KO with Ampy very much, we are cooked. So that's not good. But I love the spot we're sitting in because this heavy baton is not going to work at all. And I don't want to judge them. They had a pretty dead hand. Definitely don't want to boss. I just want to take the KO, get a bunch of energy off the board, and we get rid of an energy in hand and deck. Oh, that's so big. Oh my gosh. All right, yeah, this is what I mean. Yo, the comebacks with this deck, unreal if you discard the right things. And I love getting rid of energy there because they needed an energy to attach here to attack and take a KO. And hopefully now they whiff it would be ideal. Techno Radar will drop them down to 1 card in hand. And I would imagine they might take another Miraidon, like a single prize Miraidon. I don't know who else they would go for. But if that last card in their hand is not like a big supporter or an energy card, we're live. And they concede. That's insane. So it seems like they were just in complete, utter top deck mode, completely lost. So we were down 3, and I think with that concede, they told us they had nothing to do. All we had to do, honestly, boss up Iron Hands. It had heavy baton, so they couldn't put a future booster energy capsule to like free retreat, and we would have just swung twice before they could do anything. So we had that on lock for a quick but epic game number 1. I'll take it. We're up 1. Let's see if we can guarantee the positive record and get a win in match number 2. Welcome to match number 2. Our opponent took 2 mulligans, and based on the dark energy and stuff I saw, Scream and Roaring Moon, which we're swinging for weakness. They'll probably donk this Capsakid, yeah. But, and I'm thinking Roaring Moon, not Ancient Box, just because of what was in their hand. We're swinging for weakness, which is really going to help us on top of all the discard. And as much as I want to take an Ogerpon this turn, I am very confident they're just going to KO a Capsakid. So I'd rather bench 2. I don't think there's a world in which they KO 1. So what I'm going to do here, we'll play this, and I'm going to hold Jamming Tower. So then here's my play for next turn, right? Because I want to hold Jamming Tower. I'm fairly certain. I saw they do play Temple of Sinnoh, probably to dodge Mist. But I'm sure they play Pokestop for early dig. And I want to use my Jamming Towers. I don't really care so much to make sure their tools don't work. Which I guess could be nice because Roaring Moon could have enough HP that it like could live even when we swing for weakness. But more importantly, I just want to use Jamming Towers to displace their own Pokestops if they happen to play one this turn. And then my general plan for next turn, honestly, I'm fairly confident Roaring Moon can take an early donk on Capsakid. They just need 2 energy on this active one, base 70. Like, I would assume we're getting KO'd here, right? So I put the energy on the benched Capsakid. Next turn, I can play Scovillain, I can play Unfair Stamp, and as long as I get 1 energy off of it, we're good. We're alright, you know? So I'll be putting them down to 2 cards, swinging with my attack, putting them down to 1. And this deck in top deck mode with no Pokestop, because I kept Jamming Tower just for safety, golden. Like, that's all we need. So they're going to bring a lot of cards here, and it seems like they have the guaranteed KO, kind of like I thought would happen. They got Vessel. All right, that's fine. Then more cards out of your deck. Please. I'm putting you down to 1 next turn with this hand. As long as I get an energy, that is. As long as I get an energy. I'm putting my opponent down to 1 card in hand, and they got 2 single prize Roaring Moon set up this turn, which, honestly, pretty impressive. They only got 3 cards in hand, though, so I'm curious if they have a big follow-up for next turn. And that's largely going to determine what Unfair Stamp allows our opponent and us to have. Because we also need to establish more of a bench. And you know what? That'll do. That'll do for me. I'm going to take an Ogerpon here. Just so I could try to use Teal Dance after Unfair Stamp. I also just want to thin the deck as much as possible. So I'm going to play Crushing Hammer. And I'm going to try to... Okay, I was going to say I'm going to try to discard 1 on the benched one. Because I think we could get an energy and get a big attack off. I'm hoping. I mean, I also thought I could get Scovillain last game after that turn 2, and I completely whiffed it. So, you know, you never know. And we get energy. Actually, you know what? This hand goes kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. So, we're going to use Teal Mask Ogerpon, because the chance of drawing into a non-grass card is greater perfect energy switch than drawing into it. So, I wanted to draw 1 with Teal Dance before Bug Catching Set. And with this hand, I'll take these. I don't think it really matters, because I don't have anything else for the bench. But our opponent's hand is very disrupted. I don't want to play Iono. I just want to swing the KO, and if I could naturally draw into another Capsakid, perfect. So, oh, getting rid of Sada's awesome. That was the best card I could have got rid of off the top deck. So they either have a, I think what they need this turn, one, a benched Pokemon. Two, either a supporter is the last card in their hand, or that top deck was a supporter in gear. Okay, not bad. Do they get it, though? That might just be it. That might just be it for the fastest game to... They got Squawk. Alright, so they're still alive. They're still in the game. And they're going to swing for 120. And I'm going to swing for KO and put our opponent in the roughest spot they've probably ever been in. Honestly, I'm shocked they're staying in this game and our last opponent didn't. So that's, you know, respect to them. If nothing else, I'll just set up an Ogerpon. I'm fine with that. But we're going to try to set up as many Scovillans as possible, even though it doesn't seem super likely with what we're drawn into. But maybe this Ogerpon can get it. I know our opponent's kind of cooked here, just because they got nothing to do. But Roaring Moon is one of those decks that will forever scare me, and like just lives in my head rent-free. So if I could just ensure my bench is ready to rumble, no matter how good my setup is, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with no shame. So we're going to take another prize card on their only Roaring Moon. They are in complete and utter top deck mode. We will see if they've got an answer for it. And it's really just going to come from whatever they draw into. If they don't play anything, they're just going to pass. Temple Sinnoh, I mean, that's fine. Doesn't really affect us at all because we don't play any sort of... Perfect. Awesome. This is what I love to see right here. So I'm not even going to draw into anything else in my hand. Honestly, just going to put the energy here and swing for 140. Our opponent's still in top deck mode. I don't mind Temple of Sinnoh being down. It doesn't really matter. We get rid of Mew. Awesome top deck to discard because they can't use the restart ability now. And this is kind of where this deck thrives. You know, if you could just put your opponent in a situation like this, it don't matter what deck they're playing. This could be the best deck in the format. If they're not drawing into a card that they can play and they've got a setup like this, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? So, alright, they could motivate, I guess. Swing for 20, word. And they could attach 2 basic energy to a benched Pokemon, which they do not have. So we're just going to win this turn. Just going to swing for 2-headed Crushing, see if I can discard another cool card before taking the final 2 prize cards. Iron Bundle wouldn't have changed anything for him. And, yo, I'm not going to lie. This deck is cooking right now. I mean, we are dialed in with Scovillain EX, and I am loving it. So we have played, I think, match number 1 and 2, and honestly, we kind of flew through the intro because there wasn't a whole lot to explain with the deck. It's a very straightforward deck, so we are flying through this, and I'm feeling good. I mean, we got a guaranteed positive record. You know, what more could you ask for? So we'll jump into game number 3, and we'll see if we can get a perfect record with what seems to be the best flowing deck I think I've played on the channel thus far. Now, match number 3 is going to be a fun one because we're staring down Iron Thorns. And honestly, I'm hoping this is Iron Thorn, like Quad Thorns, and not Lost Bog. Actually, I think both matchups would be pretty decent. But I think I like Quad Thorns a bit better. So we could just take our time, set up a Capsakid here. Right? I'm between that and going Cleffa. And then next turn, drawing into a bigger hand. But I think I'm just going to rock with Capsakid. We're going to take our time. We got pretty much everything in hand to set it up next turn. And what's annoying about their deck is they also play Crushing Hammer. And what's annoying about our deck is we also play Crushing Hammer. So it's really, yeah, it's got to be Quad Thorns off a start like that. Honestly, very good deck right now. I think that's a solid rogue deck to play if you're looking for one just to help get you going. I would take a look at Quad Thorns. It's very annoying. Its matchups are fun because it's just you auto win, you auto lose. It's like, you know, there's not much in between. Your matchups are either phenomenal, again, not actually like auto wins or auto losses, but your matchups are literally like amazing or they're like the worst. There's no in between with this deck, and because of that, it's kind of fun. So they're going to get a big Turbo Energize off, which is more or less exactly what they need to do. And I am honestly totally fine with Ogerpon even getting KO'd and them going up 2 prizes, because I could just Unfair Stamp and put them in the situation like I have the past 2 games where they're either drawing what they need to or they're not. And I guess I could have played Jamming Tower. I could have stopped that whole Turbo Energized play, but I want to hold on to it for now. And I think we're just going to pass here. Actually, we're in like the best spot next turn, because what we could do is we could attach the energy, retreat, and start swinging. Never mind. We have to wait and see. We can still attach the energy and retreat. They're down a hammer, but this is kind of... Oh, man. They just got a bunch of them, don't they? Oh, boy. They're 2 tails. 2 tails in. I'm feeling good. I am feeling great in this matchup. Do they have a switch out? Naturally, they would. That's cool. That's fine. Well played. Well deserved. So they got 3 cards in hand. Nothing insane. And I know one is Iron Thorns, one is a Grass Energy. So it's not that I'm super scared of right now. So I think with our hand, do I ever judge? I don't hate it. Just trying to get a new hand for myself, honestly, and taking out another Iron Thorns that I know is in their hand. So I'm going to play Jamming Tower now, and I'm just going to rip Judge. Because I don't want them to get more bench Pokemon, and I know they've got at least that in their hand, so I'm cool with just holding the hand. They're not, like, KOing a Scovillain this turn. So, ideally, love seeing Airy go. And double Turbo Energy, that's huge. Oh my god, that's so huge. Their biggest weakness that we can 100% prey on is Enhanced Hammer for double Turbo Energies, maybe even a Legacy Energy, Crushing Hammers for those sweet, sweet electric energies. You know, like, we've got a good shot, and we've got a good setup right now. Next turn, just Judge again. The more Scovillans I can set up right now, the better I'll feel. Like, actually. They honestly might even just Iono. No, they Arvin. Okay, that's cool. Probably, what's the future radar? Get some more Iron Thorns in play. They need to. They need one more Iron Thorns in play, or they lose next turn because I'm swinging KO. So yeah, they do that in Handheld Fan, which is a bit of an annoying tool, but I have Energy Switch in hand, so they're mad to get rid of it. That's alright. Yeah, it's an annoying tool because it moves energy to wherever they want, but I play 4 Energy Switch, and they probably only play 1. Actually, it wouldn't have even worked because I'm playing Jamming Tower, so we would have been alright. And they are going to move an energy to a benched guy. Do they still have Iono in hand? I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Okay, so they have Iono next turn, which will put us at 4 and them at 6. So I think I'm just going to Judge now. Just get it out of the hand. I'm going to also keep the energy in the deck, because I don't need to attach right now. I want to save my manual attachment if I get another Capsakid. And it doesn't seem we're going to be that lucky, which is a bit upsetting. But we're in an alright spot. Oh my god, we're in a golden spot now. We are dominating this Quad Thorns deck at the moment, so we are going to swing for KO. And since they don't have any energy in play at all, I just can't see a world where we're getting KO'd. And we milled... What, did we just mill 2 energy? They scoop. That might be the fastest video I've ever made in my life. Dude, what? Yo. There's no shot we got 3 rage quits with Scovillain. That's wild. Well, this might be the quickest video I think I will ever make on this channel that is a legit 3-game full deck preview. I'm almost tempted to just run a 4th, but I'm just going to rock with it. I'm going to rock with the 3. If you want to see more Scovillain, tune into my next stream, which will be sometime this week, because I'm definitely playing this again. This was so much fun. This deck makes people rage like no other, and I kind of loved it. So, I hope you enjoyed today's super fast, super epic 3-win video. The Peppers were on fire. They were hot. They were cooking our opponents. I had a blast playing it. If you have any deck recommendations for the future, please let me know. Seriously, I've appreciated your guys' support for the whole time this channel has been a thing, and it is just like the channel is still growing, and I can't thank any and everyone who's watched or helped out in any sort of way with this channel. Enough. Like, you guys legitimately mean the world to me, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any decks you want me to play, or you want to join the Discord server in the description down below and give me some more ideas on what you guys want to see, just interact, need help making decks, please do that. At the end of this week, the Battle VIPs podcast, episode number 2, will be going live, and I believe it'll be up Friday night for my time, Eastern time, Friday night, if you're in EST. So yeah, stay tuned to that. We'll be talking about, just the overall meta review will be the first portion. So if you just want a meta review, like, of what we think for the past couple weeks, tune into that. We'll be talking about top rogue decks, top tech cards, Shrouded Fable, just a whole bunch of fun things. So, definitely tune into that if you want to listen to me and a couple of my buddies yap for a little bit. And thank you guys so much for making it this far. Seriously, I appreciate you guys. You all mean the world to me. And with that being said, stay epic. Peace.